everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Killing 15.
Welcome to Killing 15 Minutes. Yes, this is another bonus episode for you lovely people while we roll out Carry On Productions.
You know, you don't have to say this is Killing 15 Minutes. We have a theme song now.
Oh, you're right. I forgot that we have the header.
AJ writes
it.
No, that's mything. Sammy writes it. AJ reads it.
We don't have that theme song.
Murder and crime. Keep it under the time.
That's not our theme song.
I know. That's one of the thousands that they didn't hear.
Yeah, it's true. Anyways.
Just to play the one that started it all.
You probably will at some point.
You know, the one that you didn't want because I can't say fuck ISIS.
Right. What's a cubit? So, I was scrolling through Good Pods and looking at our comments, and I found one from Roundtable Mindset, which is hosted by Malin and Jamie. Yes, Jamie. I remember Malin's name. I'm terrible with names. Sorry, guys.
So what do they do?
Well, they have their own show where they tackle tough, serious questions like school shootings, banned books, what we should be doing for education, things like that.
So all the stuff that you edit out of what we say because I always go into those topics, you let them say? How dare you? You've hurt my feelings. I can never work with you again. So what are we doing today?
This is how Killing 15 Minutes ended. I'm sorry, y'all, that you had to witness this.
Okay, so what are we doing? Anyways, so they commented.
So they commented on the Baton Rouge serial killer Derek Lee. Derek Lee what?
Really, because the two things that went through my head was Brendan Lee Roth and Brendan Lee Mulligan.
No, it's Derek Lee something. Todd. Derek Lee Todd.
I do not recall this man at all.
Well, he was smack dab in the middle of the freeway killers.
You mean the freeway killer and who he was potentially in his home life, or that one freeway killer and the other freeway killer that made me go, are we just covering freeways now?
Yes.
Okay. Did he do an interstate? No, he was just called the Baton Rouge serial killer. And Malin's comment was he just didn't sound... No. Crap. We couldn't find the comment, by the way.
Yeah, I couldn't find the comment, which kind of sucks because I thought it was really well thought out. And AJ made a point during the episode about the dude's name, and Malin commented about it, that he didn't really have that good of a name, which makes him not so prolific. Not prolific, what's the word I'm looking for?
Memorable.
Popular or memorable.
Popular.
Lar?
La la.
Popular.
I teach you the proper poise when you cut up boys. Anyways.
Oh, it's good. I figured that in.
Cool. So
it got me thinking, what does make a serial killer memorable?
And that's our bonus episode of the day.
Yes.
Folks, leave us in the comments below. We'll see you later. No, okay. So, let's start with what Malin, because you said Malin generally does their socials, so
Yes.
sorry if it's Jamie who asked and you're just being very rude now.
No, I'm just being rude. I'm sorry.
First off, go listen to them. They sound cool. Because they like us.
This is true.
Only the cool kids do.
We
So we
tried.
gotta bump our numbers up. There's not a lot of cool people.
No.
But anyways, so let's tackle it from the very first. Does the name make the serial killer?
A good name for...
Because I actually do have an opinion on this one. I have an opinion about everything.
This is true.
This is why you should listen to our unedited ones and see the opinions Sam cuts. Because she doesn't want us being political.
Nope.
So anyways.
Well, do I think the name makes the killer? No.
I mean,
Can the killer live up to a name? Yes.
see, there's sort of the thing that I disagree with you on.
Okay.
I don't think the name makes the killer.
Okay.
As in, you can give a cool name to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember the Miami Strangler?
Yeah, that one just...
We
fucked
hated
up.
that. I hated that name personally because he only strangled, like, one person. Everything
Right.
else was a shooting.
Or a bludgeoning.
Or a bludgeoning. It was like, oh, well, he kind of strangled a few people. Yeah, but he didn't kill them via strangling. It wasn't like the Boston Strangler.
Right.
That motherfucker strangled people.
Yeah.
The vampire rapist. He sexually assaulted people. Did he live up to the vampire part? Maybe, maybe not. I think there was more vampire just because he bit on the
always-
water balloons. Wait, too. Because I believe that was the episode that made a lot of people that we know in our personal lives go, what the fuck did you guys just say?
Yeah.
And also something about American Express. I think it was the same episode.
No, that was a different episode.
Because that was the one where, it was Megan who went, what the fuck, man?
Mom, show called we missed the perfect silicone joke.
Oh, yeah.
But
But anyways,
sorry.
So, like, could someone live up to the name, the vampire rapist? Technically, yes. Because that is kind of what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
Unless you thought that he was someone who raped vampires.
Right.
Similar to, what is it, Brutos. We came up with the name, the Oregon Shoe Gremlin.
Yes.
Was it Brutos that we did that for?
Yes, it was.
Even though he actually had, you told me that he actually had,
He does not have a moniker from what I was able to find.
well, he should, because he is the perfect example of someone that I think should be more memorable in pop culture than not. Because when you told me that this was going to be the topic of, what makes a good serial killer or makes a memorable or prolific or what's the it factor?
Right.
I actually asked, the only people that I ever engage with. I asked my 2 children, and Jay, and Tara. Casey was asleep. I asked them 5 minutes ago. So anyways, Ezra brought up that their modus operandi, their MO is what gives them that it factor. I think a name is more like branding on a product.
Okay.
If it's called the Suck and Cut for your hair cutting needs. Sorry, I just watched Wayne's World. And it sucks and it cuts, it lives up to the name brand. Whether it's good or bad
Right.
does not matter. If it's Flex Seal, that's a great name. That's a great product too. But the product, the quality of the product does not equal the quality of the name.
Right.
ShamWow. It's a great microfiber cloth. It can do anything. It can do your taxes. Cool. That does not equal, can it actually pick up a spill? Ezra says modus operandi. And I think that is part of what makes them prolific, such as John Wayne Gacy. Most people remember him specifically because it wasn't even his MO. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, people remember from his MO. He was gay, ate gay people, kind of a thing.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes, he didn't really have a moniker.
No.
To be fair, no one was really looking for a serial killer because it was only the gays being preyed upon. And we all know how history is to anyone who isn't a cis, straight, het, white guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know I just said straight and het in the same thing, but you know what I mean.
I know what you meant.
Whereas Ted Bundy, he actually had a very bland MO. If you think about it.
His MO before he went to Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very bland.
He even after he hit Florida, he wasn't.
He became the sorority slasher.
Because he had a spree killing one night.
I'll give you that.
But even that spree killing wasn't. It was shocking in that it was like 8 women, or I don't think it was 8.
I think it was 4 to 7.
I think there were 7. I think there was like 6 to 8 victims, but only 4 to 5 deaths.
I know one survived.
But anyways, the point is that. But if you look at his MO, it wasn't shocking in a. He gutted them from the inside out and then wore their skin. It wasn't he decided to eat them. Even the Red Ripper, prolific as he was, with a really cool name, his MO was shockingly bland. Think about it. What did he do?
He would lure people away from the train, beat them with something,
And then just mutilate the body.
mutilate and penetration and ejaculation and all that shit, yeah.
Yes. Again, sick shit. But what makes him different, outside of longevity, than that one pimp we talked? Not a pimp named Slickback, but
Lasser, Bland Lasser.
Bland Lasser. Beige Lasser.
Beige Lasser.
What really makes him different? That he mutilated the bodies?
No, he mutilated those bodies.
But he only killed 2 people.
Yeah.
And if you bring up Bland Lasser, well, no one will know what the fuck you're talking about because only we get to call fucking, here's our rankings of serial killers. But even on an MO level, it's like Ted Bundy probably became famous Ted Bundy because he was conventionally attractive.
I can see what you're saying, yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer became a big news story because of LGBT activists at the time as well.
Right.
It blew up because it became a gay thing, not just man eat people thing.
Right.
And now, of course, 50, 60 years later, now we look at it with less of a, gay or straight idea because it's been inside the pop culture for so long that, you know what I mean? But, we brought up a couple bonus episodes ago about Charlie Hunnam playing Ed Gein.
Yeah.
I know that Ed Gein looked like my fucking grandfather. Poppy, not
Yeah, I
Bampa.
can see that.
Okay, I know what he looked like. I've seen the pictures. I've known Ed Gein for a long time, not personally, but
Right.
insofar as that Psycho is one of my favorite horror movies, and I love the story of Alfred Hitchcock in that movie and the creation of that book. Not the point. Point is that So when we go, hey, how do you feel about him playing him? I shouldn't want to bang Ed Gein. However, Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy, obvious.
Yes.
I mean, while they don't really look alike,
They have the square heads.
they have the square heads, but Zac Efron is a modern, conventionally attractive, or was at the time. I think he looked really good in Iron Claw, but I thought that's the wrestling
I know,
movie.
the wrestling movie I really want to
But
see.
that weird Whether it was reconstructive surgery or he had a jaw replacement, Botoxy thing gone wrong, whatever happened, I'm not judging the guy. He's just not conventionally attractive to me. But, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where MO, I don't think really even plays a factor to an extent. Some people will like the Doodler. Besides having a fantastic name, you know, having an MO where after you kill someone, you know, you just draw a sketch of them, or right before you kill them, you draw a sketch of them and leave it there. That's neat. You know what I mean? That is worth talking about. That is something that could make the Doodler top of the pile.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Brutos. You know, him jumping out of... I know we paint it more comical than it probably was, and I'm so sorry, but him lunging out of bushes to steal shoes.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird enough to be on the top of the pile.
Yes.
You know, but so many people we've covered, and I hate it because it's like their MO is bland. And I don't mean to say that serial murders are ever bland. But, you know, Eileen Wuornos is probably the only woman we've actually covered serial killer-wise, or that it falls under the serial killer banner, that had anything interesting behind her story.
True story.
Outside of the Angels of Kiev, or...
Niev.
Niev. But that was also more of a really interesting look sociologically.
Yes.
More than, a serial killer proper. Or even the chicks there. The
Sisters?
the Mexican cartel ones. Don't think they were actually cartel. The Poco Locos, okay?
Yes.
No, that's not what they were.
No.
But anyways, I wouldn't consider them on a serial killer level because while they were technically serial killers, they were part of an organized crime thing.
Yes.
You know,
Created it, but still yes.
But it is one of those things where it's like, so what makes a serial killer pop? I don't think can just be boiled down to a name. Right. A good name on a media level is perfect for us and perfect for like round table mindset and perfect for when you want to talk about someone.
Yes.
It's the name grab. It's the, Jack the Ripper.
Right.
Although he named himself. So did the Zodiac. One thing, I fucking hate when serial killers get to name themselves. You know why?
Why?
Because it shows that they care about their marketing. That pisses me off so much more than it should.
Okay.
Well, think about it. Sincerely, Jack the Ripper. We're going to call him Jack the Ripper now. So now in your head, oh yes, they're turning the frogs gay, Sam.
Again with the frogs.
But anyways, I hate when serial killers name themselves because it shows that they have more control over their legacy and they have a PR.
Right.
Sincerely, Jack the Ripper from hell. Huh, that sounds great in a paper. But fuck him. He shouldn't be the one to come up with that shit.
Nope.
Call him Limp Dick Jack. See how he feels.
Thank God you weren't around then.
I will never give it. I will give in to the terrorists that are my children. I will never give in to the terrorists that are external. They will be Limp Dick Jack, Pathetic Adolf, Kick Me in the Groin, Ava Adolf, No Dick Trump. The point is that the biggest way people can feel power, it's why white supremacists like, I know, don't give me the eyes, it's why white supremacists like anti-Nazi movies. They like war films. You know why?
Why?
Because even if they are defeated, they are shown to be strong adversaries that need to be defeated. It's why they hate things like Jojo Rabbit, which paint Adolf Hitler as this over-the-top Bugs Bunny-esque stupid son of a bitch. It's because it mocks what they like. It doesn't hold it up and revere it. I know, but it's the same thing with the Zodiac. Granted, I swear to God, 5 different people tried calling themselves the Zodiac once the Zodiac said, "My name is the Zodiac."
I agree.
Like, I do know that there was that one fake one that called from the insane asylum.
Yes.
I remember that story. I haven't brought it up previously when I said, I swear to God, everyone was using that as a name. Similar to the Boston Strangler. Actually, I think the Boston Strangler didn't name himself.
I don't think so.
I think BTK did, though. Because I believe he signed his things, bound, torture, killed. Or not signed it that way, but...
No, because it was, I think this could be because it was part of the police report and the medical examiner that they were bound, tortured, then killed.
Yeah, but I swear he signed it in his... Because that was another motherfucker who decided that he got away with it. He is the one serial killer, I will say, that got away with his fucking full serial killering.
Yeah.
And then in his old ass age, I know he was only like 50 or something when they caught him. Or when he tried starting back up.
Yep.
And then they caught him like a week later, because guess what?
No longer than that.
I know it was longer, but it was really a matter of he got off scot-free.
Yeah, he was probably never going to be, not in his lifetime was he going to be caught.
Maybe after, like, when they, like, one of his kids or, you know, a family member did Ancestry, you know, and then suddenly DNA got through, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just some stray something got into APHIS.
No, I actually think that everybody should have their DNA on file to rule you out of crimes.
See, I do, but I also don't trust the government.
There's that problem, too.
And that isn't a anti-Trump thing. That is I will never trust the government.
Question everything.
It's why I hate when people call me a communist. I'm not. I believe in Cadbury cream economics.
I know.
To have the soft, chewy center of socialism, you need a hard... the soft, creamy center of socialism. You need a hard shell of capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
But I always hate it because communists believe that the state should own the means of production and business. And it's like, no. I don't trust those motherfuckers. But anyways, the ones who name themselves I hate because it gives them extra power. And they almost try and force, oh, I'm going to be remembered. Sort of thing.
I get what you're saying. I... Not a fan of them that name them. I do have an issue when the media names them and it forces the focus onto a specific area. Like the Green River Killer.
I was actually going to say the Green River Killer. Or, what was the other one that was active with the Green River Killer? Because it was a Green River Killer and wasn't it Ed Kemp who were active in the same location?
No.
Oh shit, there was a California. Was it Zodiac and the Green River Killer then?
No, it might have been...
One of the highway killers?
It might have been the East Side Rapist, but that's also the Golden State Killer.
Oh, then I think it was Golden... I might have confused them, because, again, there's also another reason that I think we need to have better naming strategies than the Baton Rouge Killer. Like, maybe Roundtable actually hit something on for me. I hate when they name themselves something cool. Like, you could totally tell that Adam Lane totally had his manifesto, this is who they're going to call me, the Night Stabber, or some shit. Adam Lane was the truck driver who also got himself the leather mask.
Yes, he was the highway killer.
Yes, but the media named him that, not he named him that.
Yeah, I don't know what
But Adam Lane came off as the most wannabe poser of all of them that we've covered so far. Because it wasn't that he had a psychosis that made him kill. It was, I think I could be cool if I kill. That's just how he comes off. I'm just saying, he comes off as try-hard. And I know we've actually brought that up about a couple other people where it was like, you're trying too hard, son.
Yeah.
But that's where it's like, you know, like the Golden State Killer. or the Green River Killer. You know, you're right. It's one of those things where it just focuses it too much.
Right.
Where it's like, hey, this body was actually found 4 towns over.
Right.
Clearly, that's not related. I want to say, wasn't that the Golden State Killer, where it was like, literally,
he was active in Sacramento.
Then I'm thinking
and
about.
Then no, he was active downstate between Sacramento and San Francisco. I think.
I'm thinking of a different one because he was active literally in like I want to say northern-ish California and Nevada, like in that area.
Yeah, no.
It was his hunting ground was like between 3 states, and it took them fucking.
No. I think you're confusing Hunting for the Zodiac, where they traced it, where they followed all these clues that ended up getting them all the way up into Tahoe and everything like that. I think you're confusing them because the Green River Killer was only from the 80s to the 2000s. Oh, please. No thanks. Gary Ridgway. Early 80s to late 90s.
Hold on, serial killer active across multiple states. Hillside Stranglers. Oh, cool. Kemper was killing at the same time, similar location as Herbert Mullen.
Yes.
I think that's who the two I was confusing.
I think that was.
If they were at the same time and similar location around there. Apparently, Kemper hated Mullen and conditioned him to like shut up and
yes, we.
Oh yeah, I know we've covered that before. I just didn't realize.
Well, it's part of the Mullen's freaking overkilling.
Ramirez and the Hillside Stranglers were also killing the same time in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
And the Golden State Killer was also in that area.
Yes.
Because that's actually what took Ramirez so long to be caught, was that they thought it was the Hillside Strangler victims too, or vice versa.
Vice versa, I think. Whatever.
But again, it's one of those things where you call them, the Golden State Killer. I think that's just the weather being the weather.
Well, there's a person coming.
Ah! Anyways, where was I? Sorry, a brief interlude about trash pickup. I agree with you. That location names kind of suck when it comes to, like, again, even I'm confusing the Green River with the Golden State Killer, potentially with the Zodiac, potentially with, Ramirez and the Hillside Stranglers, because they were also active at the same time. Kempy and Herbie and Eddie. No, Eddie and Herb.
Eddie and
Herb. But, you know what I mean, where it is one of those things of, but then what does make a good serial killer?
Right.
The Night Slasher. Cool name.
Cool name.
I think there's been like 3 of them.
Yeah, there's been a few Night Stalkers too.
Night Stalkers is what I was thinking about. Or like Lonely Hearts Killer. You know how many Lonely Hearts Killers there have been?
I know.
Same thing. I confuse the Lonely Heart Killer with the Broken Heart Killer.
Yep.
I confuse O.J. Simpson with Deion Sanders. I don't know. I like Deion Sanders. I don't know where this joke was going. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I don't even think they played the same position.
No. OJ was a running back. Deion was a cornerback and a wide receiver and a punt return specialist.
Really?
Yes.
How the fuck do you know that off the top of your head?
I like Deion Sanders. I think he is the GOAT.
Really?
Yeah, he played offense.
I would pick a Manning for the GOAT to be anything.
He played defense and shut down half the field.
Oh.
He played offense where he scored touchdowns.
Fair.
And he was technically a kickoff return because he would receive punts and kickoff and run them back into the house. That's 4. He's in all 4 parts of a football game.
Okay, fine. My joke sucked, I know.
It gets even better. You gotta also think, he played baseball during that time period. Where he played for the Atlanta Braves and the Yankees.
Suddenly, this is a sports podcast. So, did you know that Billy Sullivan, the former owner of the New England Patriots and Gillette Stadium. I can't remember what it was called before Gillette Stadium.
I don't remember either.
But you know why he sold the Patriots?
Why?
It's because of Michael Jackson. See, Sullivan was a major funder for the Victory Tour, the Jacksons, as in the Jackson 5, after they dropped the 5 to be the Jacksons.
Right.
And Michael Jackson. They were on the Victory Tour. He funded a lot of that. They did a really stupid way of marketing it, where you actually had to buy 4 tickets. If you wanted 1 ticket, you needed to buy 4 tickets. They would put your name in a lottery. They would give you your money back if you didn't get the lottery, but they did so they could put all that money into a fund so that they could keep the interest, so they would actually make a lot of money. It was so bad that even James Brown said that he wasn't going to go see this fucking show because of how they set up these tickets. It was stupid. Anyways, during this tour, Michael Jackson turns around and says, "This is the last Jackson tour." This is right after Thriller came out. So guess what Michael Jackson had the ability to say? Fuck y'all, this is the last one. So the tour lost a shit ton of money. So Billy Sullivan had to sell the Patriots and Gillette Stadium so that the new guy, I can't remember his name,
I can't off the top of my head either,
would come in. You know what that new guy did? His first order was change the coach to Bill Belichick, who also changed the lead quarterback to...
Well, he did draft Tom Brady. You are correct. However, his currently quarterback was Drew Bledsoe.
You're right, Drew Bledsoe. I'm sorry, I forgot. But anyways, Michael Jackson was the reason, even tangentially, for one of the greatest dynasties. In fact, I would argue the greatest dynasty in football. Whether you like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady or not, it is the best it is the biggest dynasty.
It is the longest dynasty.
Longest, I'll do with that.
There was a handful of people that won during that dynasty. It's not like LeBron's dynasty, where the freaking...
or the Bulls dynasty.
The Bulls dynasty where they went back to back.
I want to say 95, 94, or 93, 94?
91, 92, 93, 95.
The 90s was Bulls land, man.
It really was.
Anyways, now that we're done being a sports podcast...
Sorry,
I just wanted to share that little bit of information. I just watched Mike the Snare's Deep Discog Dive on Michael Jackson. It was very fascinating.
Okay.
But anyway, also, he brought it up, and now I need to bring it up. What do you actually do with that information?
I put it on a podcast somewhere.
Like here. So anyways, location name doesn't really matter. It's like the Oakland Raiders. I believe they're it's the Chargers now. I'm thinking about the Nevada Chargers. Oh, wasn't it the Chargers it was the Rams. Who moved their training stadium to Nevada?
It's now the Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas. So I was right originally. It was the Oakland Raiders, and now it's...
right now, LA is the Rams. And
or like the Jets are now the New Jersey Jets.
They're still New York Jets.
I know they are, but guess where they train?
They play in New Jersey.
Exactly. So location names matter.
Okay.
Although I don't know a God-fearing New Yorker that claims the Jets anyways.
I know a few, but not a whole lot.
I knew kids when I was growing up in the 2000s.
Yeah, when they were good.
But, like, post-2010, you want to just stop this and turn this into a blinking on,
No.
Just cut as soon as I make the joke. You're now entering an alternate timeline where this is a blinking on sports.
Anyways, focus. All right, so location.
Let's cut everything I just said about Deion Sanders and O.J. Simpson. We'll go that far back, okay? Keep this part. This is actually quite interesting. I don't know where the fuck we'd put it. But this part's quite interesting, I thought.
It is interesting. I might just leave it.
Anywho, look, you are correct. Location, like, when they do a naming thing, like a location naming,
Yeah,
it ties it too close to...
It focuses in where more people are going to be looking in that specific area, instead of being able to branch out and say, all right, he started here, we need to start looking outside the box.
Right. And it's also where I also think that I also blame podcasters on this, and I do blame us on this. It's like for the Smiley Killer. That would actually be a really cool name for a serial killer that brands their victims with a smiley or carves out a piece of smiley or something like that.
Ouch.
Not some fucking tangential, conspiracy theory. Then we go into, okay, so what does make, what makes Jeffrey Dahmer special? Well, like I said, at the right before we did this, I asked my kid. Ezra said it was their method.
Right.
But to be fair, there's only so many ways to kill someone.
Correct.
You can be slightly different about it. Again,
yes.
See the stranglers versus the slashers versus the arsonists.
Right.
So then Xander said, how many people? And that's actually a very interesting thing. Like, if you look at, H.H. Holmes.
Right.
The guy who supposedly killed 100 some odd people.
Right.
In his murder house. Yes, he's prolific, but what does that make him more prolific than, say, again, John Wayne Gacy?
Or the Unabomber. He technically only killed, 3 people. Injured, 6.
He injured, a dozen or so.
Yeah, 23.
But and we use air quotes there because they were still horrible bombings and everything like that, but he did only kill 2 or 3 people. Ed Gein only killed at maximum 2 people. I believe he only killed 1, if he killed anyone at all. I remember the grave robbing and that, but I don't believe and I'm probably wrong because I believe he did kill 2 people. But they were all both old fat ladies.
Yeah.
Not that is a good thing, but I remember because we had this movie, we brought it up a couple podcasts, or a couple episodes ago, on the movie one we did.
Yeah.
But we had, I bought from the $5 fucking bin, Gein, or Gein, however you want to pronounce it. It was a biopic on him.
Yes, I remember that one.
It was terrible.
Terrible!
But it was educational.
Yes.
So it's one of those things where, he never, technically he did, it was the ghoul of,
Hatfield or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say Haddonfield, but I believe that's Michael Myers.
I think Hatfield, Michael Myers, and
Haddonfield was Michael Myers.
Oh, well, then it's Hatfield, I think.
It was in the Illinois district of California, because you can still see the palm trees. But anyways, he's like a Mount Rushmore level person. Despite the fact that he never really he doesn't have a masterful name.
Nope.
He doesn't have the body count.
Nope.
But you know what he does have? And this is actually what...
Weirdness.
And that's exactly it. It's why I think shows like Mindhunter or Criminal Minds really hits the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Like, David Koresh. Allegedly, officially, is not a mass murderer.
No.
Unless you want to count fires. But that's its own can of worms. But he's still, he's still on the criminal mind side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is a very specific mindset. It is not necessarily weirdness, but it's, how I describe it is like a pop star.
All right.
Billie Eilish has really good music.
Okay.
Okay. She Bad Guy comes out, oh my god, it's a top song. She has that it factor.
Right.
Okay. Britney Spears, I believe, had an it factor. I think Christina Aguilera didn't have that it factor.
No, not until much later.
And even then, I think, Pink is made of the it factor.
Yes.
But even let's go someone smaller, because Pink's really become, a lot of the people I just named are obviously, they're super popular.
Right.
They have super hit songs and everything like that. Taylor Swift is the number one musician in the world right now. Sorry, Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Has an it factor.
Yes.
She also has the skill to back it up.
Yes.
Even if you don't like her music, she has, you know what I mean? She has the business acumen to do it. She has the look of Ted Bundy, the efficiency of Dahmer. You know what I mean? She has all the stuff that makes it, you understand why she is a name factor.
Yes.
Whereas, to go into it, whereas someone like, what was another chick with guitar? Jewel.
Okay.
Let's compare Taylor Swift to fucking Jewel.
Okay, I can do this. I can see this.
Okay. Both started their careers as a chick with a guitar. Yes, Taylor was still more singer-songwriter country, whereas Jewel was singer-songwriter folksy.
Yes.
You can't hear Who'll Save Your Soul and think that it is a glam rock masterpiece.
Not wrong, but it is a great song.
It is. Or My Hands, you know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas Taylor, even when she was being her singer-songwriter as most, was like Teardrops on My Guitar and You're 16, or whatever the fuck the name of that song. I think it was just 16. Okay? But Taylor was able to adapt her MO. I'm still trying to turn this into a serial killer. Adapt her MO to changing times.
Yes.
It wasn't that she totally changed who she was. Even when she did, she went full pop with, like, Look What You Made Me Do and all that. It was, you saw the progression.
Yes.
It wasn't like she came out with fucking Romeo and Juliet, right?
Love story.
Thank you. And then the next album went to Reputation.
Right.
It might have been. I don't know. Whatever fucking album had Look What You Made Me Do on it. Where she went to the I'm Too Sexy drums. I'm too sexy. Okay? Whereas Jewel instantly went from being my hands on my own and with to, whatever the fuck that follow your heart, your intuition. I think it was called Intuition.
I don't remember.
When she had that one pop hit.
I don't remember. I didn't like it.
No one did. Because she was trying, she didn't have the it factor to be a pop diva.
No, but she is still big on the indie folk side.
She is. Just like if we brought up Richard Ramirez. David Ramirez.
Richard
It was Richard Ramirez, yeah. To me and you, and then maybe Murder Coaster, like just in general, Ouch Was That a Ghost might know who it is. Murder Coaster might know who it is. Notorious Escapades might know who it is.
Yes.
Not just because we've done an episode on him. Actually, have we done Richard Ramirez?
No, we have not done the Night Stalker. The original Night Stalker, I think it
Did
is.
we do the second Night Stalker then?
No, we have not done a Night Stalker.
I swear we did.
No, sweetheart.
Okay. Anyways, they might know who it is. Again, bring up Jewel. Especially in 2025. Some people might still know who she is. So, in a certain vein, she has a sort of, or like Enya, where there's a low level, she's a deep cut, versus, Jeffrey Dahmer of Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, name, I don't think really matters on efficiency when it comes to it. I think it really does matter on
all three.
I think it's a combination of weirdness, method, sort of. Like, no one ever really remembers oh yeah, he just stabbed someone one time. It was a quick, clean kill. Everything was,
Right.
They remember, yes, he lured them out from, the bus station, beat them to death, gutted them, carved their eyelids off because they were staring at him. I think I just combined 2 or 3 different people.
I'm not entirely sure yet. Continue with
Who was the one who he cut off the victim's eyelids?
Oh, no, where he mutilated the
Yeah.
eyes? That was still Andre Chikatilo.
Okay, then I was right. Citizen X was the film. But, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't just be... Another really stupid way to compare this... I'm sorry this has just become me using every fucking analogy I can to try and explain what I think makes the serial killer. I think it does actually really relate to pop stardom very well. For instance, we know that there are many copycats.
Yeah.
Or, like, not many copycats, but, like, I don't know if we've covered really that many.
No, I haven't done copycats, really.
I know we brought up one once.
That was an overkilling...
For, Herbie?
No, for Sutcliffe.
Okay.
Peter.
Like, Luke Combs.
Okay.
Good singer.
Yeah.
Very good. I love some of his songs. I don't hate his cover of Fast Car.
Right.
However, it does not have the same it factor to me as... I'm about to sneeze. But you understand what I'm saying. It's not coming out. But you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Is that he has an it factor. He has one. But because it's actually a poor analogy. Because we would then be talking about utilizing other people's it factor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I love the song Drift Away. I want to kill whoever the fuck did their cover, Beach Day, or the Drift Away song that I had you guys listen to that was Give Me a Beer, you know. And it was like, it's sort of like, it's the difference between...
It's a good parody and a bad parody. It's a difference between Weird Al and Lucky Boom Boom Down. Because that was a parody on rap music.
Actually, we could go into our own thing for Informer. But Snow was not actually doing a parody. It was actually how he grew up in a reggaeton environment. Because Canada's fucking stupid like that.
Anyways.
I'm sorry, I'm joking. Canada, New York will become the 50th province. 8th. 7th?
I don't fucking know. I don't know how many Providence there are.
Look, we will give you New England and New York. I would just like dental. Anyways, this has really gone downhill. So, to sum up, I think it all really truly depends, not even on weirdness. I think it depends on what else is happening in the world at the time. I think I'm clearing the table. Everything is being wiped off the table, and I'm saying none of what we've talked about actually matters on what counts as a top tier serial killer or a...
Let's go with this example. Samuel Little. Do you remember him being caught?
Given the fact that I just pictured Stuart Little holding a butcher's knife, no.
2014. What was going on in 2014?
Fuck all if I remember rightly.
I was legitimately asking a question.
I had just moved into the West Dom house and I just started First Issues.
I can't tell you what was going on in the world, so why did we not get that?
Because catching the killer doesn't matter unless it's a huge blow up. No one cares about the ending of a serial killer story. Or when it's a fictional story that's, wrapped up in an hour and a half, yes. And this is actually something that David Lynch brought up when talking about Twin Peaks. He wanted to make a show. He did not want Laura Palmer's killer caught at all. The murder of Laura Palmer was never meant to be solved, because that wasn't the point of his story.
Right.
The point of his story was the story that branches from the murder. However, while people do like closure in stories, just knowing that a person's been caught is, oh, okay. For instance, before the death of Osama bin Laden, you know, when Obama came out, we got him. How many people were actually talking about Osama bin Laden from, let's say, 2010 until 2014?
Was Obama's first term or second?
I want to say it was his second.
I want to say it was his first. Hold, please.
You're going to have the weirdest fucking time editing this.
Uh-huh.
May 2, 2011. So, it was the ass end of his first term.
Yes.
But, no, in his term, in, you know, Obama's entire term, how many times did people bring up Osama bin Laden?
Very rarely.
He did get brought up, but it wasn't, you're right, very rarely. I mean, even if you look at Operation Iraqi Freedom, and then Eternal Vigilance, or whatever the hell we called it. By Bush's second term, a lot of people were by 2008, 2009 with Obama. I want to say 2008 was Obama, right? Because 2000 was Bush elected, 2004 was Bush elected, then it was Obama. Then it was Obama. Then it was Trump. Then it was Biden. Now it's Trump. Sam, could you not hold up a thumbs up doing that? You had to see how Sam was counting. She ended on a thumbs up just with how she was counting.
Did you like me staring at my thumb like, what the fuck, man?
No! Your wife's gonna kill you. Anyways. But that's sort of what I mean. You know, look at the serial killer epidemic.
Okay.
You know, the mass between, 1950 to 1970? Or 1960 to 1980, whatever the hell.
Right.
Right after the silent generation really fucked up the boomers.
Yeah.
We know now how many were active. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There were over 200.
Yep.
I think there were over 2,000 or something like. I think it was like per year there was like 200 active at any given time.
Something like that.
Something like that. How many of those can you name? You can guess and be like, the Golden State, the Hillside, Ramirez, etc., etc.,
In that time period, I could probably give you a little bit more.
Not to mention, then you also have, are they making national news?
Right.
Someone can be a local serial killer, like Ed Gein didn't make national news originally. It wasn't until, like Psycho came out and like other things that used him as a reference came out that suddenly we backfilled historically to be like, oh, he must be top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Similar with, again, with all the ones that were active at the same time. Now you just have another body was found. I wonder who it is.
Yeah.
We don't even know if it's linked. And then you have, in New York City, there's 5,000 murders a day. I know there is not. But you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Is how many of those would be considered a serial killer? I mean, there were many serial killers active in cities like Los Angeles and New York City and even Minnesota.
Yeah.
Large... I don't know why I put Minnesota in the top 3. I'm sure it's not. Chicago would have made more sense. Detroit would have made more sense.
I don't know, St. Paul, Minnesota, Minneapolis. If you had named a city, I would have been better.
I said Minneapolis.
No, you said...
Point is, and then you have to look at it there, How many people are going to care that today the 10th person, died? This one might be a thing, But how many people are paying that much close attention to be like, those are a thing?
Right.
Until the media turns around and goes, the Scorpio killer is at it again. That is a Dirty Harry reference.
Okay.
The Scorpio killer was based off of the Zodiac killer. Or the Son of Sam, I can't remember which. I think both, because I believe the Scorpio, they actually showed him lining up his sights, and it looked like the Zodiac crosshairs.
Mm.
So anyways, you know what I mean, though? It's like, it's one of those things where it really depends on where you are at any given time to really see a hit. Jeffrey Dahmer was prolific again because he was very gay coded. Well, no, he was gay. You know what I mean? So then you had a lot of, conservatives who were like, this is the gays. Then you had a lot of gay people going, what the fuck? Why didn't anyone catch him? The first time a naked boy goes running down the street going, help, 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 when they're handcuffed.
I know.
You know what I mean? It becomes this thing where it's like, the reason Dahmer gets that attention now is because he was put up on a pedestal then.
Mm-hmm.
Jack the Ripper only killed 5 people. Or 7. 5.
5. Ooh.
No, it was only 5 because the thing in From Hell was he was trying to make a fucking pentagram. But he only killed 5 people. But there is a mythologizing, you know what I mean? Partially, I think it's mostly because it's unsolved. Because you have other serial killers or similar people active at that time that were caught for multiple murders in a similar fashion that never reaches the point of the West Chapel Ripper.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or the Whitechapel Ripper.
Right.
Similarly, you had American serial killer who was also considered, the Jack the Ripper in the U.S. I can't remember his name.
The American Jack the Ripper. I don't remember. I didn't like him. He doesn't sound fun.
But
He didn't tickle my fancy.
But you know what I mean? The only reason Jack the Ripper survives in any sense is one, the air of mystery, especially in pulp writers of the time,
Yeah.
really sensationalized it. But because at the time it was something.
Yeah.
Especially when at the time you had a lot of negatives going on. So it was a good distraction despite the fact that it was about murder.
Right.
Ted Bundy. He hit at a perfect time for everyone to be like, hey, college kids, cute guys are kind of fucked up. He was a perfect way to be like...
He was an allegory.
Yeah. Jeffrey Dahmer, also an allegory. John Wayne Gacy, killer clown. No one liked clowns even then. But again, because he had a homosexual lean to his thing, a lot of people also used him as an allegory.
Right.
When you can easily put that up, and it's something that I think a lot of true crimes don't really want to get into. Similar that a lot of archaeologists and people who talk about sociology and whatnot.
Right.
Sociology really is rooted in eugenics, and a lot of people try and avoid even talking about that because it's not now. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same thing as like me. I love the myth of Atlantis.
Yep.
You know why it's so prolific? Because it was what the Nazis used as their "we are a master race" based strategy. Saying that there was an ancient civilization of white folks that ruled the world. So that's our right. It's insane and stupid when you realize that. But not a lot of people who believe in Atlantis now believe in the master race part of it. As in, like, we are superior because of our Atlantean blood sort of thing.
Right.
So, where the fuck was I going with this?
I don't know, but we need to wrap it up.
Okay. Right. It's a lot of where we are on a society now. Another good example is disco. Do you know why disco was hated as it was?
Why?
Primarily because it was used in gay and black community.
Okay. You're right.
It's why there were fucking burning. It wasn't even just that. It wasn't even just like the modern idea of new, like, rock music, hard rock music versus pop rock. It was disco's bad because of the gays and the blacks. And they held rallies burning disco stuff.
Interesting.
And a lot of that history is also swept away because on a basic level, you know, if someone goes, hey, this brand of music sucks, like if I said polka sucks, no one's going to be like, no. You know what I mean?
Right.
Similar to if you turn around and say, hey, disco sucks. In modern parlance, that's just like, yeah, okay, it does. But no one looks back at the time and be like, holy shit, there was more to that than the music wasn't there. Granted, you can also look at disco now because a lot of the shit has gone to the bottom and forgotten. So only a lot of the good stuff remains.
Yeah, it's true.
You can also look back now and be like, nah, disco didn't suck. And I think that's where...
I can only think of one song that is completely disco in my head.
Okay.
I Will Survive.
Do you know technically that a lot of people classify that as R&B?
Really?
Because, and soul music.
Because it was technically the end of a disco. I can see that.
No, it's because a lot of people wanted to separate the two. At the time, they wanted to separate the two because it allowed for easier branding on genre. It's one thing to turn around and be like, Aretha Franklin's the queen of soul.
True story.
But, you know, the Jackson 5, or like Michael Jackson's first record. Again, I watched a deep disc dive. He's going to be a thing. His first album, Off the Wall. I love it. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Several others. But it is a disco album. Half of Motown, in later stage Motown in the 70s, were disco.
Yeah.
And they would be interjected with soul, but because of how times were turning, it's why disco essentially became pop.
I can see that.
And but I'm not a music theory person. I like comics. Which is also why I also like a lot of pop history. So it's where I think we are looking at it all wrong, going, what's a good thing? I know that Roundtable, to tie this all the way back, God knows how you're editing this, but to tie this all the way back, Roundtable's not wrong in that a good name can make a good, serial killer. I think we oversimplify, oh, is it prolific? Is it this? Is it that? When truthfully, it really just depends on what is going on.
Right.
Why would the Instagram model killed in Utica have made national news if Instagram wasn't a hot topic?
True.
It wasn't a serial killing.
Nope.
Although the dude did fucking burn her and himself. I know exactly where, too. Only by the description given in a podcast I listened to.
Yeah.
That made me feel awkward. But, because I'm like, look, I like the casual criminalist. He's the only person I will listen to do this case just because I know how Simon is. I've listened to so much of his stuff. He'll be respectful. If it gets too bad, he literally turns around and goes, I'm not reading this.
Right.
So it's like, he was good on it, but it was just one of those things of, they go down the Denny's. I've been to that, but
yeah, I know.
But
they're
it's
like,
not,
we're in Utica, New York. Oh, you said that right. Fuck.
So they met down at the Denny's and I'm like, I've been to that. I got head in that Denny's parking lot. The Mothman ate my cat. The Mothman ate my ass in the back of that Denny's. But, you know what I mean? If Instagram wasn't such a hot thing when it happened,
right,
it would just be a local thing. I have a friend whose sister was murdered on Halloween Eve or Halloween night. It didn't make national news. It's a local thing. Well, local in central New York local. And is that fair? No. But at the same time, it is solely about that fine line of what is happening now and relevancy.
I can see all that.
Like, would people still be talking about the Menendez brothers if suddenly it didn't turn around and be like, child abuse, child rape, they were abused as children, it was a revenge killing, or such.
Right.
Now, maybe the fact that it might be overturned, I don't know if it actually was or not.
I think they might be getting a new trial. I'm not 100%
Or something
sure.
along those lines. Like, that would probably be a quickie little update. You know what I mean? With the world. It would be a blip. It would be O.J. Simpson, but O.J. Simpson getting arrested for trying to steal back some of the stuff he pawned off in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
This was 10, 12 years ago?
Longer.
The only reason that was a headline was because of Nicole.
Yeah.
And
I would say because of his past endeavors, not just because of his ex-wife's
you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
murder.
That's fair. There were a lot of murder jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that. Or, besides Sharon Tate and her friends.
The LaBiancas.
Yes, those were her friends. Oh, you're talking about the LaBianca. Never mind. I'm sorry, I was thinking about what's his name. Sharon Tate and,
Sebring and the floral terrorist and...
But yes.
Yes.
More people know about her murder, that murder, than any of the other Manson murders.
Right.
Or even Squeaky, Red and Blue trying to kill, Reagan? Ford? There's a lot of dead air. Oh, shit. It is 9:05. But anyways, short answer is because Sharon Tate was a higher profile that, you can bring up other Manson murders or attempted murders.
Ford.
Thank you. And, they'll know about, oh, yeah, they killed Sharon Tate, etc. They won't know that, Manson family members tried killing a standing president.
But then you got the LaBianca. You're right.
And then the LaBianca murders.
Right. That happened in the next night after the
It
take.
did, but most people don't.
No.
That would be, again, one of those things where that's a layer down from the normie.
Mm-hmm.
You might have some normies that know about it, but even then, that means they've done a little bit more digging than the shallow top level.
Right.
And I think that's where, like I said, I think all of those things, the name, the amount of murders, the MO, the signatures, that X factor, all of that does play a part, but ultimately it really depends on what the world is doing at the time.
I agree.
And with that, it's 9:05. My kids need to be in bed. I love you, sissy.
Love you too.
Love you, people at home.
I'm Sam Rossi.
I'm Gary.
Later, y'all.
Keep on carrying on.
CARE. Y. Because
Carry on production.